continue in an animal vein, please welcome Holly Robison.
Good evening. So fun that you're all here. So I have to tell you, anyone who knows me knows that I love elephants. I decided in the 6th grade that I needed a favorite animal like the rest of my friends, and I doodled this little elephant character, and I decided that elephants were it. They would be my favorite. And since that time, so long ago, I have ever been true to my elephants. All you have to do is walk into my house to know, am I right? So today, I want to sing you a little piece of history about my favorite animal. But I'm going to let you help me if you'd like. I have the chorus written here, so when we get to that part, you can join in. You'll catch on really fast. So like I said, this is a piece of history. In the late 1800s, this song was sung all around our country. Oh, have you seen the elephant, is all the people cry. The great and mighty elephant who stands so tall and high. He daily eats a ton of hay and drinks upon the sly a ton of circus lemonade and several pints of rye. Oh, have you seen the elephant? From England late he came. He is the king of elephants, and Jumbo is his name. You guys catch on fast. Let's do that part one more time. Oh, have you seen the elephant? From England late he came. He is the king of elephants, and Jumbo is his name. Old Jumbo likes a social glass, but he is never drunk. Though people say he always keeps a bottle in his trunk. With just a wink of Jumbo's eye, he sets the girls to swoon. Let Jumbo raise his trunk up high, and he will touch the moon. Oh, have you seen the elephant? From England late he came. He is the king of elephants, and Jumbo is his name. Thank you very much for joining in. So, as you can tell, that is a song about a circus elephant. Timely, as the circus is changing in our country today, but my love for elephants took me on a pilgrimage. I traveled to St. Thomas, Ontario. And why that little hamlet, you might ask? Well, I can let you in on another piece of history. St. Thomas, Ontario is where Jumbo, the most world-famous elephant of all time, drew his final breath. There is a statue erected in the town, and I made my way there. I stood right there beside ginormous Jumbo's statue with it towering over me. A local nearby said, I'm sorry that you were greeted by Jumbo's backside. And he was right. As I drove into town, right there on the side of the road, where everybody could see as they were coming in, was Jumbo's rear end. He went on to say, that is in keeping with Hindu custom, that an elephant best brings good luck when facing east. So our Jumbo faces east, bringing us good luck, and we hope you good luck as well. I didn't tell him that I didn't think elephant behinds brings anybody good luck. But I was glad that the statue's trunk was going up into the air, because that's what I did know. Elephants with a raised trunk, now that's what brings good luck. I went into the caboose car close by with a sort of a museum of Jumbo's life. And it was there that his life unfolded before me, in journals and newspaper articles, illustrations and comics, each one more colorful and exaggerated than the one before. Who was to know what was real and what wasn't? But Jumbo, his life, began far, far away, on the savannas of Sudan. A tiny, furry, big-eyed baby elephant was born. He loved his mama, playing there in the savannah. But his mama was no match for the elephant hunters that came and took her little baby away, never to be seen again. On the crate that the little elephant was put into, it said, "Elephant in Vendetta." And Lorenzo Casanova, he decided to take that little elephant home. But it wasn't too long before he made a nice sum selling the little elephant to a grand menagerie. It was there in Italy that Jumbo spoke some of his first words, in Italian, I assume. When will I grow into my skin? But the little elephant was surrounded by animals that looked nothing like him, and no one could answer his question. Before too long, his Italian did him no good because he was once again moved. And this time, the voices around him were rather nasally, and even the elephants he shared a house with sounded funny. The young elephant went to Paris, Jardin des Plantes, and it was Castor and Pollux, the large elephants that he shared his space with. When he arrived, Castor said, "I must tell you that you are a nobody, and nobody is going to come to see you with the likes of Pollux and myself, fine specimens of a pachyderm here." Poor little elephant looked down. When he needed mothering, there was no parental instinct there at all. It was like living with two larger-than-life bullies. They would sit their big rears on him, waiting for him to say uncle. And when the little elephant tried to eat, Pollux would say, "You don't want that food, do you?" and pull the food his way with his trunk. So when most young animals were growing, this little animal, young elephant, seemed to get smaller. So neglected and malnourished, sores upon his back, but his saving grace came from across the channel. The London Zoo was desperate for an African elephant. And it just so happened that Paris had an elephant that they felt like they could part with. So a trade was made. The small elephant for a rhinoceros, a kangaroo, a dingo, and a few eagles. London was so excited to share their new African elephant with their community. When the boat was to arrive there at the dock, huge banners were hung, boisterous bands played, the crowds gathered on both sides of the street, and then a rather small crate was rolled off the ship. It was pulled through the town and made its way up to the zoo. The banners told the young elephant what he was to be called. "Welcome, Jumbo, African giant, to the London Zoo." Londoners paid a penny to get in to see the African giant. And it wasn't until after they paid that they realized what a tall tale that really was. for it was a rather small, sore-covered elephant that they saw. But it was there in London that Jumbo met Matthew Scott. He was a trainer at the zoo, and he made Jumbo his life's work. Jumbo is what they're calling you, huh? Well, maybe your name will grow on you, but we've got to get you to grow, Scott told the elephant. And he began hand-feeding the elephant, lathering him with lotion and ointment so that this elephant would grow. It took all of his time, practically day and night, but there is one thing that cannot be tampered with in England, and that's tea time. I think us Americans have a hard time comprehending that things just stop in the middle of the day so you can have a cup of tea. But Scott was determined to get his tea break. He wanted tea, so he made tea for Jumbo, a nice jar of Earl Grey with a splash of lemon. But the little elephant just turned up his trunk, didn't want anything to do with it. Scott tried adding sugar, a few spoonfuls, still couldn't get the elephant to go near it. We won't quite say how many spoonfuls of sugar went into that mixture, but it was more sugar than water by the time he finished. But the little elephant sucked it up and drank it dry. But before too long, it was only giving Scott a few seconds of peace. So rather than a jar, he made it in a bowl. And when that went too fast, a bucket. And when that went too fast, a tub. And before Scott knew it, he was making a pool full of his lemony, sugary mixture for his now big elephant, just so he could get a few minutes' peace in the middle of the day. Jumbo had grown just as Scott had suspected he would, but no one knew he would get so big, and they all began to wonder, when will he stop? 14 feet tall, 16 feet long, 18, 19 feet around, almost 8 tons was this massive creature. He grew so big that there was not a chain or a rope or contraption that could keep that elephant down. He would simply look at those chains and say, "Did I ask for jewelry? I don't think so." And when Scott wasn't working or wasn't in the elephant house, nobody wanted to go near the place. Jumbo would take one look at a stranger and say, "Who are you? And where's Scott? Get out of here," before throwing the largest tantrum any 7-8-ton toddler could ever throw. Scott took to working his days off and holidays, you name it, just to keep Jumbo happy. But still, at the end of the day, Jumbo would get fidgety when he knew that Scott was going to go home. And so Scott ended up making Jumbo's bed of hay his bed. The duo's ritual was dinner, sharing some beer, and then